It wasn't live.
Well, go ahead.
You the one with all the difficulties. You start.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening and welcome. Welcome. I'm D, Diva D from Carved Out Diva.
April Carr with April's Beauty Bar. And the lesson for today is don't allow Denise to start with new technology 2 minutes before the broadcast. That's right. Legs. So when it comes to technology, you are assigned, just like my students, to be up and moving around 10 minutes prior to work out any technical issues you may have. But we are Diversity
and Equity
in Education, and we're being hosted by
the amazing and fantabulous Bianca Goofy, who has no tech issues.
And from Teacher from the Culture.
From Teacher from the Culture. And I would like to say, yes, I would take my licks this time because she's absolutely correct. Because I really thought that it could work. I mean, I've been having no problems with my Zoom. So I didn't know why I had problems with this, but apparently apps matter. So different kind of apps means different kind of, the app make the difference. Because with my Zoom, I have no problem. I was doing Zoom this morning. What?
You didn't know apps matter?
I didn't know apps mattered.
I can't.
Good afternoon, everybody, and it's Sunday. It is. I mean, the month is just flying by. We're actually the third week. We're now closing out the month of June, and just so many things have just transpired because we still back in the house. We back in the house again. We back in the house again. I mean, why is it that we back in the house again? What could have possibly taken place that keeps people returning back to their home? April, would you like to share with us?
Well, one thing I do notice that it seems as though, based upon our leadership officials' actions, everyone is governing themselves accordingly by mimicking their actions and not wearing masks. So now what do we have?
Spike in the cases of Rona.
That only could be happening because there's more tests. That is the most insane response. That one of our leaders, that you all decided to put him in office as governor,
right? And
even accused the Hispanic. What was the
Hispanic population? Obviously, is the one that have more wrong
because they packed in buses going up in Palm Beach.
If that ain't the most racist,
that is the most
racist response to a pandemic I've ever heard. But then again, let's from the beginning they've been treating the Chinese like 16th world citizens. So I mean, what do you expect?
So that's coming out of the mouth of leadership,
right? And then of course, they now they're finding out. At least last time I checked the news, the cases are spiking amongst children. And why? The two number one and number two reason why children did not practice social distancing, because they see adults out there going everywhere, up and down, here and there, nilly-willy with no mask, and doing activities and all this stuff. Like a children are only gonna mimic what adults do. And then of course, two, you just can't keep kids apart. Case in point, let's talk about an example we had this particular week. So we were blessed with the opportunity to co-teach a class, and it was great, wonderful, mask on, everything like that. The kids had their own mask, right? But guess what? Kids are not going to keep the mask on. That's for they want to talk and share with you, and then on top of that, they want to come together to be able to present and show their stuff and select their items and stuff like that. And these were not children. These were teenagers. Youngest, I believe, may have been 14, up to like 18 years old, 17 years old. So understand something. If you can't keep and it was only come out 5, because we were able to social distance 5 kids. It was 5 kids, 3 adults. It was 2 of us and another gentleman was there. So you may tell me in a total space of, it was a regular sized classroom with 8 people in there. Still couldn't social distance. I can't wait to see what plan y'all gonna have with 25, 30 kids in the classroom, if you believe you're going back to school. And like I said, the cases among children are spiking. There was a child, it's so unfortunate, that just died in Pasco County. He had coronavirus, he died. And so understand something, that's a teenager. So I just need y'all to understand that I don't know what this is gonna look like, what this plan is supposed to be. I don't have a clue. All I know is Yeah, the cases are rising. And remember, we had, it was predicted. Dr. Fauci said that. He predicted that. He said, when summertime come around, it's going to spike up again.
The latter part
of the summer is going to spike up. And then remember, we still have to get through flu season, which is the November, December, January period. I don't know why people think they're going back to work or going back to school. I don't know why. I know I feel for people because I know people need to pay their bills and stuff like that. But logically, the fact that the numbers are going up is telling you that what y'all opening the state up, no, opening the state up was not the thing to do. It was not the thing to do. I mean, no. You got travel away. When you see other countries trying to ban United States citizens from coming into their country, that should tell you something. They're like, you American? Nah, straight. You good. Stay right where you are. Because we don't want none of what you have.
And that's interesting.
Yeah. Other countries are saying they don't want American citizens, tourists. They'll take other people from other countries, but y'all don't know how to do anything right.
So as we close in to right at 100,000 cases for the state of Florida, the question becomes, what's next?
Right.
So our mayor has taken the initiative to give out masks citywide. You know, you had an opportunity to come get a mask or a mask for your family and try to make sure that we're all capable of practicing social distance as much as possible and wearing the mask, because that cuts down on the back and forth contamination that happens in between individuals when they're merely speaking. So they say to us, Denise, well, why are we not social distancing?
We ain't been no place.
We're part of the family.
I've been around her
house,
and she been around me, and that's it.
That's it.
I mean, listen, you be hard pressed to say you seen this chick in the streets. Hard pressed. Look, and then when I do run in the street, I'm running them crazy hours. Okay, the store open at 6, I'll be there at 5:59 because I want to get out of there before all these people show up.
And I've been I-95 since day one.
You ain't catching the sis on the road, not sis.
Since day one.
No.
Look, be almost about to knock myself out with covering my face with the other mask.
In the heat. And then on top of that, it's like it's 90,000 degrees outside. Who want to be outside?
Right.
Who want to be there? All y'all outside having a good time. Do you? But not over here. Yeah. And as for me and my house, we'll stay inside. Thank you. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stay inside. Yeah. So I mean, you know, and listen. I'll eat everything in this house, including whatever's in a can, before I leave.
You want a canned chicken?
No, that I.
No canned chicken.
No canned chicken. I don't know what that's about.
That was too far.
That was taking it way too far. Okay. Now, speaking of the Rona, so you know, I'm hoping that what I'm being prayerful for is this. I'm prayerful that everyone who is in leadership who may have contracted it recently, that they do recover and come through, because from what I understand and from what everybody has been talking about, it's really a horrific type of thing. It weighs on your lungs, and it reduces your lung capacity and things like that. So, so I'm really, just prayerful that y'all get through it. But at the same time, I do want y'all to understand that if you're an adult going through this, keep in mind we got children that you're trying to push through a school system, and y'all believing that they, this ain't gonna be a rapidly spread. And this is how I think. Think of every adult who's contracted it at this point in time. Think of all the places y'all been.
And we've seen you on pictures.
And we've seen you
several pictures.
Yes. Who you around.
Amongst children, amongst staff.
So you spreading it from person to person. Remember, that person is taking it to their house, and that person taking it to their house. And you cannot control. So when I say that, I mean it like in terms of school. We cannot control what happens when they're not enough. I can control me, she can control her. But there are so many factors out there that you can't control. Okay, because look, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Just during the summertime with remote teacher e-learning and stuff like that, I'm hunting down kids based on their home address. Guess what? Oh, I'm not here this week. I'm with my aunt. I'm with my cousin.
My grandma house.
I'm gonna go to my grandma's house. But that's not an emergency car. So now what happened at grandma's house? Well, what's going on at auntie's house? I ain't got no control of them factors. So how do you know that grandma had control of that kid when he went to play with all his friends? Now he in contact with his friends. Now they friends in contact with somebody else. Do y'all understand how that works?
No, it's called as exponential exposure.
Look,
One person can spread it to an entire community.
That's why the importance of the masks. Why you think the mayor telling everybody go get a mask? They giving them away for free. Back in the day when all this started, everybody would try to make $8 off a mask. $8. Try to get that mask money. Now they like 8, 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40. Hey, look, that's what they wanted for the mask. Now the mayor like, take them, get them,
or be at risk of the up to $500 citation.
Right. Oh, by the way, y'all forgot about that part because you know it's all about a check too.
Please, ma'am, please, sirs.
Put a mask on.
That includes your children as well.
Put it on.
They are supposed to have on masks. Do you have a mask that you can show the proper way to wear them?
You could go to the corner store.
Where yours?
Oh, mine right there hanging up by the laundry.
Please hold.
Okay, I got 2 hanging up by the laundry room right there. But look, you could get go to the hair store and get the handkerchief, slap that around your face, anything. But don't risk catching a $500 fine. Because you just like, I ain't putting nothing on my face. Look at that. Look at that. Look at God. Okay, watch this. I got mine is tricked out. You see, I got one side and then this the other side in case, I forget to bring the second mask out the door. So I just remember to say to myself, okay, this is the side I had on this week. So you see how I'm putting my mask on? Let me show you something. See how it slap on there? What's the first thing you notice about my mask?
It covers your nose.
And what else?
It covers your mouth.
Am I wearing my mask down here around my throat? Is my mask off to the side like I don't have a full conversation like that?
That's one of the most insane things I see.
Why you is my mask just dangling like so? I mean, put it across your face and just listen. Let me tell you one of the benefits of a mask.
And may we ask, those are compliments of
Catherine. Oh shit, her last name.
Catherine F.
Yeah, your last name long, but guess what?
Eaterhart.
Yes, there you go.
Fiegel Eaterhart.
Love you, Catherine. Thank you. And let me just break this down. Notice how you can still hear me.
Yep.
Okay. I can whisper. You can still hear me. So why you want to take the mask off? And I love these because you can wash them and keep it going. Okay. And then on top of that, what? Listen,
you even got that to say on top of that.
Listen, no. The benefit is this. I don't think I've worn makeup in months. Because you could literally go out the door like this. Whatever, ain't nobody seeing me. Shoot. East Tampa off for life. That's how we do. Okay, I'm sorry. We got thrown off.
That was just a car pass.
That was just car. That's how we do. But look, just understand something. It is not that difficult. It ain't. And look, to me, the number one benefit is the fact that I haven't had to put on makeup in months. I tell you, the fact. Listen, when they release us to go back outside, I'm gonna be mad. I gotta put on makeup. I'm just be mad. I gotta put on some eyeshadow and some lipstick and some. I gotta do all that. Yeah, I'm embracing my best self. I really am. My best self. Exactly. So listen. So leaders, like I said, you all seriously. Now that you see how fast it can be spread, how it can be contracted,
and leaders aren't obsolete from it,
and that no matter how high up you go on the chain, it's just like death. You can't escape death. Okay, this is one of them things that you could just be around one person for 20 minutes, and next thing you know, you got it.
And what bothers me with all of this is that it seems as though until people are impacted by it, they don't identify or connect with the level of importance for it.
Like education. Like education, because guess what? If your children grown up or your children in the rich neighborhood and your children go to private school, of course you don't give a damn about public school education. What? Legs.
Sip. We just
take flight.
What we just saying.
I'm just saying what we're just talking the truth.
Kimberly said, so y'all gonna address the fact that the black elected delegation have the Rona? We just did. We said we'll get caught up in the name part. We're not crazy.
I ain't throwing no names.
They know who they are.
They know.
We don't get into that.
They know.
Yeah. They know. It's clear. And it's been all in the Tampa Bay Times.
Some people are so scared of Rona, they mentioned about 12 times on a Saturday morning.
Because who's to say even those individuals were, for the sake of saying it, brave enough to bring it out?
Right.
We don't know if it was the bravery or the publicity. I don't know.
Right.
But there are probably many others that do have it as well. They just have not said anything. So being that I'm no doctor, nor is Denise, we're gonna leave that for the doctors and the people to tell on themselves.
Right. Because like I say, listen, I live in such a state of heightened awareness. Man, if I just feel a little caught, Rona, is that you? Is that you, Rona? Who is it? Rona, is that you? Rona, is that you? Oh. Because I'm telling, listen, at night you pray so hard, you just like, Lord, please let me get through another night. Just let me get through.
What's so crazy is when I go to the grocery store, when I go out the house, I come back in with the mentality that I've caught it, and I don't know how.
Right.
It's like it's psychological to where like
paranoid.
Oh, when I was at the gas station, I held the handle and I got in the car and I used the wipes and I didn't do that. I'm like, I done made myself doggone crazy over something that's not easy.
Listen. I went in the trunk of the car, right? I didn't have the wipes in my car, right? I went in the trunk of my car and I found like an old newspaper. I ripped the whole page off the newspaper and grabbed the pump handle just to put gas in my car. Dude looked at me like, is it that serious? I said, you can stay over there, but it's that serious to me. Okay, so I'm pumping gas with a tissue paper. You don't understand. People like they act like they don't care. I'm like, but you know when people don't touch this pump handle?
That. So again, the lesson from this right here, or our message from this right here is we all are subjective to being capable of acquiring COVID-19.
Correct.
We know nothing is 99.9% capable of preventing you from getting it. We know that. However, it is a way to reduce the number of possibilities from you being able to be exposed. And the first one being a mask. Okay.
Oh, Catherine says dog poop bags work great for that. Oh, I need to go pick up them little small dog poop bags. I hadn't even thought about that, for real. I need to get them little super small garbage bags from the dollar store. Little super small ones. Because I'm just never. Anyway, I ain't pick up this super. Why you? Super.
This chick is over here doing nail damage, and I didn't see it.
I don't know why. It's just like when I start talking, I know, right? I was nervous. Anyway, we moving on to the next topic.
Straight up peeling.
And the reason why is because I want to just pull up my hair because I'm. Oh, by the way, I'm allowing my hair to lock. So it's right now going through the process, and sometimes it's so hard. I want to pull it, so I have to do other things with my hands. So that's really what it is. Like I want to pull it, but I don't need to spend all day pulling my hair. So anyway, so let's move on. So let's talk about. Okay, well, first of all, Saturday. Yesterday we had a wonderful tea. We had a virtual tea. It was called the Project U Virtual Tea, a combined effort between Carved Out Divas and the Beauty Blueprint Foundation, featuring it's a long title, child.
I don't know why you say all that. It's just a Blueprint for Girls.
Blueprint for Girls, okay? So what we've discovered, so since we always got to go back to our education, no matter where we are, where place we go, where we had some excellent conversation. And what we've learned, because we always create a safe and welcoming space for the girls. The one thing, and for the parents, which the parents are really involved in the conversation. And one thing we learned, even though they talked about COVID-19 for a while, give it a little moment of time, they were mostly, and for me, I was mostly impacted by how they're experiencing life right now, especially with what they're seeing in the world in terms of being a Black and brown girl in America today. And let me tell you, if you have children at home, you need to be having conversations with them, because it was like a combined sigh of relief to hear them be able to express how they've been feeling all this time. Because remember, things have been stolen from them. They did not get an opportunity to experience the last 9 weeks of school. So they never said goodbye to their friends. They never said goodbye to their teachers. It was taken from them. And then now they're home. Sometimes their parents are home with them. They're home with all their siblings. They don't have a moment of freedom to say, I'm gonna run all of them, because they have to be protected from the virus. So for them, just having them be able to talk about their feelings and really say, it's trauma they're going through. So please be aware of your teens, and what I got out of it was when Ms. Johnson was talking to them, she was saying that, kids express depression in different ways. So a child may seem like they're angry and they're aggressive, but they're actually just really depressed because they, look at how we felt. We were having cabin fever. It was only like 3 weeks in, and I was just like, I'm about to lose my mind in this house. So the same feelings that we go through, imagine it's exacerbated for children because they truly have no control. They have no control.
And want to give a shout out to Fakila Johnson for as a Florida board licensed mental health counselor. She has created a avenue for us to be able to offer those mental health supports for the girls. And prior to us even getting into sessions, because it was a group session, so to speak, she explained to them, or she basically identified what was their prior knowledge as it relates to mental health when they hear the term. And what I found surprising with that is not one of them said crazy, which is a good thing. That means that their perception of mental health is not that of what my elders viewed it as, not so long ago. And then my biggest takeaway was when one of the girls shared that, expressing how does she feel about, things that are currently happening in this stage, like what was her feelings. And when she went, like, very well spoken, articulated it very well. But what she said was, I don't know how to feel because the individuals that I have been taught to protect me, call them if I need their help, they are now who are killing us. So I don't even want to call them if I need help for my mom or for my family because I don't know if they're going to come and kill us. I want that to just resonate, that's coming from the mouth of someone that's no more than 10, 11, no, about 11 or 12.
Yeah, 12
years old. So I want y'all to think about that and think about how you would have felt as a 12-year-old, regardless of your skin color. Just think about that. That child said, I don't know how to feel. So that means she's emotionless. She's that attests to being numb. That means that you're just there, you exist. And then to go on to say, and I'm fearful to call the individuals that I have been taught that they are there to protect me because I think they may come and kill my mom or my family. That right there almost took me out.
Oh, it did. I was
like, I had to move out the screen over a minute. I was like, oh God, I can't handle that.
And it and it goes back to way back when we were still working at Waters, when the children would say, listen, when I think of when I see anybody that came to the door that's white, they either a police officer or a social worker. They either come to take you out or take you away. There's only two choices.
That's another thing.
And so now it's 10 times worse because at least they said it, but now it's so much worse because that child, when that child expressed that, it's like having no hope. It's like having no hope. Imagine if your parent was going through a seizure. You want to call 911, but you're scared of who might actually show up. You praying that it's going to be the EMT that show up and not the police. So those conversations were so necessary. And for the parents too, because it was like a collective sigh. Like, we really needed to have these discussions. We really need to talk about what's going on with our children. How each of us are feeling, not just how the children are feeling, how the parents were feeling. And I liked when they picked their affirmations. They had their workbook, and they picked their affirmations, and then they expressed how they feel, why they chose a particular one.
But go back to what we started out with, the activity we started.
The first activity. Oh, and you have the playlist, right?
Yes.
The first activity pre-activity before we got started was for them to select a song that spoke to how they felt right now. What reaches out and appeals to their mental health, and what's the feelings they have. And some of the songs were so mature, so deep. These weren't like, we're gonna just pick a rap song. These songs were like deep songs. And and I want to go back now and like read the lyrics on some of these songs because they were so deep. I mean, I can't remember some of the Hair, the one with NDRE. No, that's what her mom. That's what the mom did. But the girls,
their songs were so eclectic and different. Like, they're just not normal songs you would listen to.
Right.
But one of them did choose the song from the movie not Harriet Tubman.
Harriet.
Harriet. The one song that say stand up, take my people with me. One of them chose that, and that's a song that I love myself because it's just so powerful. And we, in one of my sessions, virtual sessions, we actually dissect the lyrics, child and language arts. Anyway, but the key thing with all of that is we have so much going on around us as adults. I don't think that we're taking we're not being intentional about how the children are feeling. Right. It doesn't matter what age the child is, unless they are in infancy mode or probably 1 to 2 years old, they may not understand. But everybody else, you'd be amazed what 3-year-olds pay attention to. I would just say that. So again, it was just heartbreaking. And let me pin this right here. Parents. It takes a lot to create opportunities for the girls in mentorship programs.
Say that again, loud.
Whether it be girls, boys, or whatever it is. It requires your commitment to even, no matter what comes up, to treat it like a job. Because you know what? We treat it like jobs. And I think everybody else that hosts mentorship programs, they're committed. They're committed. So the after the fact thought process, meaning that something came up and now you want to change your mind, just remove your child from the program. Stop wasting people's time, because that's what it is. And it's very, very disrespectful. And do your part. Call, say something. It's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. And for me, it's annoying because, again, we're taking time from our own families because we choose to and we desire to. But it's very disrespectful. It's very disrespectful. The persons that's hosting these programs, you owe them an explanation for when things change, because they're invested in your child, not only physically, but to a point of, a mental connection, making sure that they're safe. We're concerned about when there's no call, no show. Are you okay? Did somebody get hurt? Did somebody, like, it's like an extension of family.
Yes.
So don't do that. It's not fair, and it's very disrespectful.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm glad you did. Yeah. Because listen, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Coordinating with different people. You deal with people's schedules, and you're asking people to give up their time as well, and all because we want to make something that's beneficial for your child. So that's
because we don't do that for cheerleading practices. Oh, because you don't want your child to run and they don't want to run. You don't do that for football practices, soccer's. Like the same commitment that you all have for sports activities or things that the child enjoy. I promise you, these things that they're learning in mentorship programs will benefit them greater along the way. I promise you that. I would be willing to put money on that.
Because these are life lessons.
So I would encourage all of us, including myself, and here it is, my kids in a program that they don't even know what they're doing. But I'm making them get their butt up and do it because they commit. I signed them up. So therefore, I got to commit to it. So sit there at that computer, do the best you can with what they're telling you. I can't help you with it because I don't even know what to do. But they're committed. You will not start something and then change your mind in the middle of it. That's not fair to the program.
Because also, too, remember, you're teaching the children here's what you're teaching
a child. Talk about that.
Thank you. This is what you're teaching a child. That I don't have to keep a job because, if I don't feel like going to the job, I just don't go. So now you don't have a steady work experience because, I don't feel like doing this, okay? And that's not something that's good because that's going to follow them forever. Then people going to keep asking them when they try to apply for a job, well, how come you're only here for a week? And how come you're only here for 2 weeks? How come you only lasted this job for 1 month? And why couldn't you get that? So remember, it's going to trickle down into other areas of life. Like, for example, okay, I'm not good at budgeting now because, well, I didn't feel like paying that bill this month. I didn't feel like it. Now the lights off. Now, I don't have any savings. Now I don't. It's amazing how many other things it affects because you're not being consistent. So the more consistent you are, that's what, do you realize that that's all school is about? All school really is just life lessons to teach you how to live in the future. That's what school is. Why do teachers tell you to turn things in on time? Because they're teaching you that if you turn something in on time, by the time you get to that stage in your life where you have to pay bills and pay the mortgage and pay this on time, you can do it. You can pay it on time because you spent your whole school career learning how to turn things in on time. So that's really what it is. I mean, it's important to just, you know. Do we have some comments? How we doing?
Okay, so
let's say hi to some people.
Tavis said, that's really good. He's referencing when the girls never said it was referred to as crazy. It says, I'm so used to the boys thinking that mental health counseling means that you're crazy. You're right. Kimberly said, that's so sad. Claire Farmer says, that's heartbreaking. They're all referencing the situation we talk about, the little girl. And then Kimberly says, it's so tough because who do you call to police the police? There's no one to help. And that's how they feel.
Right.
That's how they feel. And it does also not help when in some communities, the police is only their presence is only there as it relates to children. Like Denise said, is to come to haul someone away or
to take somebody out.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some communities don't have that luxury of having the police come in at their local community centers and, you know, offer different types of positive, you know, interaction with the children. Only time they see them is
a tank rolling through the neighborhood.
Or a bunch of guns.
The paddy wagon, the guns drawn, the bunch of police cars, six, seven police cars show up for one.
A water fight.
A water fight, yeah.
A whole team, a task force came out for a water fight.
And I'm like, are y'all for real? And basically, it's just an intimidation factor. I mean, do you really think it's necessary to have all those people? So that's why I applaud. I forgot what state it was. California. I'm not sure what it was. It was San Francisco, who is now deciding to send out mediators to non-violent crime. So when somebody calls 911 and says, we may have a domestic disturbance, or you hear two people arguing in the yard, okay, we're going to send a mediator out. We're not going to send a police officer anymore. Because it's like, you know what? Maybe if we just talked about it, which pretty much would solve 98% of the problems in the world if people would just actually talk to each other. Okay, so they send out mediators. They're like, look, they should be sending out social workers or send out, you know, anybody like that. But that I applaud them for doing that, because now you have immediately de-escalated the situation just by sending somebody that's not even dressed in a uniform. When somebody don't have a uniform on, it's like, oh, so what you here for? Oh man, we were just talking. I'm sorry, we need to be this loud. And you know what too? Mediators also will begin to start to pay attention to cultural differences. Okay, because guess what? Every Hispanic person I know talk loud. And it may sound like an argument, but no, they just talk loud. West Indian people, we famous for that too. We gonna talk so loud, and you swear we having a full, straight up fight. But we might be playing cards, playing some dominoes. Listen, dominoes get the gun. It's gonna sound like we have full-fledged war. But you have to, if somebody came out there and actually observed the situation with no weapons, no nothing, no uniform, nobody getting paranoid. Now you're like, oh, okay, listen, hey guys, you know, the neighbor said y'all getting a little loud. Can you turn the volume down? Okay, cool, man, I work with you.
No, not they get out of the car with hands on their gun. And that is enough to send somebody through the roof.
Losing your mind.
And again, only in certain communities.
Because we don't have what was the name of the dog? McGruff, the crime dog.
McGruff is gone.
McGruff, remember McGruff the crime dog? Remember the dude in the little hot outfit, McGruff the crime dog and all that? He out there in Wesley Chapel.
He still exists? What happened to the robot?
Which robot?
They have a TPD or ACSO robot.
What it do?
It's like the NI with the kids.
Which kids? Take flight. What are all that? Take flight. What are all that? Flappy little wings. Flappy little wings. Flappy little wings. Take flight. Run across. Legs. Leg. Take flight. Because I've been in the school system several years, and let me explain something to you. Usually people come through to visit the school with different things. Like I've seen plenty of fire trucks come through. I've seen plenty of they do little med checks and stuff like that. They do the spina bifida or the whatever. They do stuff like that. But I haven't had people come through and have some positive relationships with the police department at school. I haven't seen that. I'm just sharing what I know. Did Gretchen throw some legs on? Okay. All right. What's the comments we
Kimberly
have?
said Gretchen got her legs and she tickled. Yes, Gretchen. Kimberly says that's how I grew up in New Orleans with officer friendly.
Mm.
It's still a challenge for me to write about that police don't exist that way anymore.
And
In certain communities.
she's not like she is 60, 70 years old. She's young. So it's like wait a minute, how she experienced
Listen,
that.
we used to have Mr. Willie Wilson. Let me hear Willie whistle. Let me hear Willie whistle. Willie whistle when you're going across the crosswalk. Willie whistle, make sure you're safe when you walk. When you hear
Get it.
Willie whistle. We'll have no more Willie Wilson.
Hey, Willie Wilson.
Plow you down on the ground and kill you dead. That's what they doing now. How fast can you drive up a street in the community?
You had Willie
A lot of kids walk in the middle of the street. They ain't looking for no crosswalk.
You remember the guy and then we used to have the dentist that would come, little friendly dentist guy, and he had the big giant tooth.
Yes,
and he had a big giant toothbrush, and he'd tell you to go scrub the giant tooth till the plaque come off. You remember that? You don't see none of that no more.
And those are programs that were embedded in communities where they know it was a social economic. There were plenty social economically challenged families that needed those services because why? They're working. They're working. But again, who knows? Karam Firm, you know who that is?
Oh, a child, I don't know. Somebody trolling. It's a long message, so I read child.
So we can't delete them because we can't. That's on another platform. But anyway,
so that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that are that they are in the community that we just like. They used to be in the community, let's just say, that don't exist anymore. And it was so helpful because, like, I learned about, even though my parents used to brush your teeth and all this stuff, I learned about the actual plaque and decay and all that from the big guy with the big toothbrush and the big tooth, and you drill the hole. I was like, that is so awesome. But now you don't see none of that. You don't see not one thing. And so that's where the disconnect comes from. Because remember, if you have parents who also been failed by the system, and another generation of parents been failed by the system, when are you going to bring stuff back in to help bring the connection back, the whole family?
The resources for the community.
You need the resources for every single person.
Because that goes back to when they do go through those different screenings with the school, they just send a letter home saying your child need to go get this. You think mom and dad may not know the child need glasses and a hearing aid?
Yeah.
Could you help tell them more than just they need this?
Right.
Have some recommendations on where they possibly could go based upon the possible insurances that they may have. Do more than just tell them what they already possibly know. To the degree that are you receiving extra coinages for them having those things, those screenings that at the school? I'm just saying.
Yes, exactly.
I'm wondering if there's any dollars connected to that.
There probably is a lot of dollars. It's just what is funneled in the correct direction.
That's just our hearsay. We wouldn't know.
Let's talk about the trauma that the children. Besides, listen, here's a big thing. You know what children are looking at on the news, and which goes back to what the baby was talking about. Who do you call when I'm in trouble? So lately, they said there's a whole string of Black people that apparently we go and we hang ourselves. We're committing suicide by hanging ourselves.
Right. Like all of a sudden, a whole bunch of us, at least 5 or 6 by now, have in various states have decided to we just gonna hang ourselves from trees. So we gonna go ahead and strap up a whole contraption, and we're making knots that are holding.
Yes.
You know how hard it is to make a knot that will truly sustain that type of weight? Like it takes a little bit more.
And so this is what the children are paying attention to. So you want to know why children are traumatized? I'm an adult and I'm traumatized. And you're saying it's like the little boy that they talked about, or the boy rolled himself up in a carpet and suffocated himself. Okay, nobody can roll yourself in a carpet and suffocate.
Isn't that from Alabama?
Yes.
That right there.
How you didn't?
He took his own shoes off.
Right.
And this is my next thing. But it all went back to the son of the sheriff or whoever the leader was in that community. And I'm not saying, and I will say, George Floyd, yes, it has created the necessary shift that we needed. But that mom needed that same support at that time.
Right.
What happened?
Right.
Why was the ball dropped? This child rolled himself up in a mat, a athletic mat. He rolled him like it doesn't even make sense.
Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world.
So that means the whole town had to be a part of that doggone.
Yeah. And this whole no snitching policy. So of course you got a whole bunch of people that probably know everything about it, but then they're not gonna say one thing. Not one possible thing.
Where are all these people coming from today? From somewhere?
I don't know. Child. We ain't got.
Help us.
That you know, devil busy today. That's all we can say about that. That's all you can say. All right. So yeah, but understand these experiences are traumatic. They're rough for our children. And when are we talking to them about it? That's the thing. When are we going to talk to them about it? I mean, right now we're at a point where we can't really shelter anyone. I mean, to me, it's better for you to inform your children than to try and keep suppressing the information from them, because you remember they want to be out there, they want to be in the street, and it's sad because you don't want that to happen to them. Right. Kimberly. Yeah, right. Exactly, Kimberly. Okay. Anyway, so okay, listen, like I just have to throw this out there real quick. Listen.
I don't know what she's going to say.
Wait. You know, social media is a beast. I'm gonna tell you why, right? Because sometimes it works for evil, sometimes it works for good. First of all, y'all president swear he was going to have 1 million+ people at this rally, right? Boy, them TikTokers and YouTubers and all them went ahead and
some of us locals.
Went ahead and snatched up a whole bunch of tickets. Got this because you know he thrives off of an inflated personality. He just thrives off this crap. So here it is now. It's like, according to the fire marshal last report I saw on CNN this morning, I think there was like 6,200 people total. I mean, in an arena that can hold, of course, much more. So I just want to give a big fat shout out to the TikTokers. Y'all are off the chain. Y'all little chain. So they call it, and I think there was a name that came up for it. I think it was MSNBC or one of them said earlier that it was they call it a social media protest. That's what they did, to where they blocking a whole bunch of people. They're blocking a whole bunch of people. You know, it's some kind of way they made it happen, but it's real interesting how that worked out. So for somebody who loves, you know, to think about big numbers and everybody and me, well, hey, listen, you got what you wanted. You wanted every seat filled out. I mean, every seat sold out. Every seat was sold out. It just didn't happen to have people in it. So hey,
Kimberly says she ordered her full ticket.
Oh my God.
Come through, Kimberly.
Exactly.
You know, a bunch of folk here is where I don't want to get on no plane, order all them tickets.
Right. And then also to understand something, you know, but also listen, with the same fervor that we can do that is the same fervor people do go out there and vote. Let's be real. Okay, because if a mass effort was combined that quickly to get something like that done, imagine what would happen if you took that same energy and put that energy towards actually voting. So make sure you can go ahead and get your ballots in. I mean, if you want to do it, vote it by mail. I remember, even though if you can vote by mail, you can still take that particular ballot straight on down there to the thing. And then just be careful. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you are registered. You have all your information. Please, seriously, please. I can't tell you how many more times that you need to go ahead and have and make sure your voter registration information is up to date and that you're ready to go. And don't forget, vote in all of them. Don't just say, I'm going to wait to vote for the president. Remember, the local ones are what matters too.
They are the most important,
honestly,
because they impact you right now.
Right. You're talking about, look at what's happening for every single Friday. Or Teacher for the Culture, the school board members are always the forums every Friday for the school board members, and those things are awesome because you really can now you have a real world, real life interaction with the people that run it. Most of the time, how many of you could be truly honest and say most of the time when you go and vote in that ballot box, you don't have a clue who the people are.
Well, somebody told you who they were because you never were able to have them in front of you to explain.
Right.
Their overall vision for when they become a school board member. And let's go back to that.
Mm-hmm.
So this past Friday we had District 3.
It was District 3. Yes.
District 3.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 7 candidates, or was it 6? Either way it go. The forum was filled with individuals that most of them came from half of them came from corporate backgrounds, and the other half had some involvement with education. I think most of the half that said that they had involvement with education were substitute teachers, or had taught before, or whatever. No, one of them is currently a teacher. She's currently a teacher, right?
Yes.
For technology.
Yes.
That's what it is. So I say all that to say this. If you all are not intentional about learning the overall current thoughts that these individuals have as it relates to education, based upon a series of questions that were selected and vetted and provided by the community, that means you're not being intentional about who you're even choosing to make the decisions that are best fit for all children in Hillsborough County, with the emphasis on the children of color. That seems to be they represent the minority as it relates to being in the district, but they receive all of the various disparities as it relates to suspension, as it relates to the overall pipeline of prison. That's it.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct.
So the majority that I've heard don't talk too much about it in depth when a question surrounding that is thrown at them. One of the candidates, he just seemed to even not know what District 5 was. Exactly. Like, you want me to do what?
Yeah, and
say it again.
The stuttering was so real. Stuttering was real, because let me tell you, when it says you need to work together with all districts, yeah, you're on the board, but we should be focusing on all the districts, not just your. So real. So there is a District 5. It's like Hunger Games. Hunger Games, like, okay, we up here in District 1. Well, we eating good and living good, and you mean there is a 12 back there? There's the district back there that we don't care about. Oh, okay. But so it's the same concept. But it leads me to, listen, this week, I hope y'all paid attention this week. I think it's been floating all over YouTube. That one video where this school board member, and it's not here, was online shopping. It was on New Orleans. Online shopping while they were discussing sensitive information, information about the racism, everything in the one particular district.
Well, actually, it was about a sculpture that they want to take down. Yeah. That's I guess it's on the school grounds or whatever it may be. But long story short, finish up.
She was online shopping. And
white board member, white woman.
All I know is her first name was Connie. And that citizen gave her the business.
And you know what? And let's convert that into a more positive word. He wanted her to be held accountable.
Thank you.
Because it's always misconstrued as, oh, they doing too much. They too aggressive. Right. They too that. Call it what you want to. But the bottom line, she was being disrespectful.
Yeah.
Disrespectful. And she gotta go. And we got a lot of disrespect that has occurred in the past with our board members that used to get up and walk out and stuff when certain people would come to the podium. But we're not gonna talk about that.
But if you can't take the heat, come out the kitchen then. Or don't put yourself in the race. That means clearly you have said to the people, I don't care about you. I'm here for my position, for my title. I'm here for this little coin. And I don't care about nothing. I'm here for a kickback, 90% kickback. And I don't care about the rest of y'all.
And she stormed out. And she left
and had the audacity.
She was that privileged.
To be mad because how dare you question my privilege? I'm the only candidate that deserved this position. Legs. She laughing so hard she can't even get the legs up. Legs. She didn't even get the leg. Let me come on the side like this.
Hold on. How we do it?
On the side. Legs. Look, there you go. Take flight.
As we enter back into the screen, and Gretchen, I'm glad you say that.
Over here.
Wait. Gretchen was
all the way.
So yes, everything that I believe, feel, look forward to, thinking about, can conjure up, whatever you want to call it, aggressiveness, assertiveness, all of those words to me mean accountability. Now, from this point forward, I don't care what board member you are, you should be concerned about the kids in District 5 because they have caught hell. Correct. They didn't caught it.
Correct.
No more. And for those that's on the outside looking in, that say that teachers can take the time to go, what they said, we could take the time to go rally.
Yes.
About some checks. Listen. at the same rate that we want to do whatever it is that our primary focus is on, whether it be small businesses, whether it be entrepreneurship, whether it be major corporations, all that ish require for you to have an education.
Correct.
And if our children are being deprived of a quality education, embedded with things that is going to be culturally relevant for them, and then have parents, and if parents not available, aunties and uncles if they not available, grandma and grandpa them if they not available, cousins if they not available, damn it, it's the community next. Do your part. Help.
Everyone need to do their part.
Or shut up.
Everyone.
Because we've been talking about this for years. Ain't none of this new. We've been talking about this situation, but we were viewed as the progressing, disgruntled teachers.
Angry.
That we're just angry for no reason.
Loud.
But we're telling you about what's going on in the schools, and it's the truth. We're not telling you just to make it up. We're telling you because we need the support and the help and efforts to shift the narrative about what's lead you.
Come up off your, let me tell you how my mother would say, come up off your desks and come in the classroom. And even if, like, in this current state where we at, if you can't physically get in the classroom, why don't you just pop? Listen, ask some children to read to you. You know the biggest indicator? Just ask some children to just read to you. I had a parent read their child's SB message back to me. I said, ma'am, he said he trying to ask for help. I said, I want you to read this message. Just read it out loud. They got so frustrated. I said, yeah, I don't even know if it's a question, a statement. I don't know where's the punctuation, but this is your level that your child is at. And of course, they're frustrated because they don't even know how to communicate effectively to me.
And Kimberly, you talking about the community tap out. Hell, they need to be tagged in and stay in.
Correct.
They can't tap out from something they ain't been doing. This didn't happen overnight. District 5's condition did not happen overnight. It didn't. The disparities
in the suspension. I know what she's trying to say.
Did not happen overnight with black boys.
That's
it
correct.
Didn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Systemic, maybe. No, that's what it is. So the question remains, when y'all gonna tap in? Stop looking from the outside in thinking that you don't have teachers that's bringing voice to this and, again, putting themselves at risk for challenging things that's happening on school campuses that they know is not right for African-American children. Certain teachers that don't have no connection to that child at all. They're bringing their white privilege in the classroom, trying to teach children that they don't understand.
I had to block somebody today because you actually married to a teacher and you got full-on blown out racist tendencies. And if that's who you married to, what's she bringing to the classroom?
Underlying belief systems, morals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the fact.
Yeah.
And this year, I will hope that we have all types of African American studies, Black history more than it should be a requirement.
Yes.
And we don't want to talk about no slavery.
And no Martin Luther King. We tired now. Everybody know he
and what's her name?
Harriet Tubman. We don't want to talk about that. We want to talk about Rosa Parks. We want to talk about that. We want to talk about the African liberation movement. Oh, let me tell you something. Hold on. Let me talk about it. Let me go give this one to the hater real quick. I did my Friday rant this week. Okay. I want this how you know when people ain't educated. Okay. Do you know that the Pan-African flag has a color block scheme?
Yes, it does.
But also the Marcus Garvey Liberation flag also has a color scheme, and that's what I had in my background. So no, my flag was not upside down. Learn you something. Learn something. That's why I'm here to say, learn something. Papa. Let me get back on track now. But that's what comes from education and knowing your Black history.
There's a whole plethora. Parents, you ain't got the time to sit down and research it so you can reteach it and then enrich you and your child. I'm telling you, Prime. Y'all got all these apps on the TV, smart TVs anyway, and on your phones. Netflix, they got some stuff out there. Amazon Prime got some stuff out there. You ordering the packages to the door.
Right.
Add the movie series on there.
Correct. If you got Prime, you should be able to pull it right up off on your Fire Stick. Y'all know how to do that. So it's like you refuse to listen. Imagine what you can do if you just stop buying Jordans and Timberland boots. Imagine what you can do with that money. And then on top of that, just buy 2 books about Black history. That's my timer. Just buy 2 Black history books, 2 little books about the children of color. Books. Just buy books for your children. I'm astonished at how many kids just don't have books in the house.
We have so many books. It drives me crazy.
And note paper and drawing paper and color pencil. Those things are so cheap. Okay, think about this in your mind. This one I want to leave you with. Think about this, right? You're gonna spend $300-400 on some Jordans. And now if you just go to the dollar store and spend $5, you have a pack of paper, a sketch pad, and color pencils. Now imagine what the imagination of that child can do for $5. When you want killing yourself to give your child $300 Jordan. But $5, you'd be amazed at what that child could do with $5 worth of drawing material. Give them one of them coloring books
into an art gallery.
Oh, it is.
And some of them
are pictures everywhere.
Drawings.
Pictures everywhere. Sometimes it'd be like this. Is it upside down?
Yes. When your arms as long as your feet.
They drew my head. My head was this big.
And your torso.
And I have some puffs like this.
Yes, like
that's the auntie. Auntie looked like this, but my head a little long. I don't know how. But I love it because it's me. It's me. That's all it is. That's it. That's really good. I think we covered all of our topics, and I think that's it. I mean, we really got to say anything else. I mean, listen, just by watching the news, I'm entertained alone through all this week. Oh, by the way, just real quick, a dust storm from the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, I thought you.
Whoo!
5,000 miles.
It's 5,000 miles away. Let me tell you how powerful God is. So now, since y'all refuse to go inside the house, He said, you know what? Let me send some dust for you.
Kill you.
Let me send some dust. Since you refuse to stay in the house.
It's supposed to reach out 5,000 miles.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Let me just.
So we're going to get some remnants of over here.
Throw some dust on you, keep you inside. Maybe you can't breathe. You can't breathe, maybe you just go inside and stay there.
Sprinkle or two. He is amazing.
That's an awesome God. That's all we got to say right there. We ain't got nothing else because, y'all can go around and replay the video and talk about us and cut the snippets out and stuff like that. That's all. You know what they said?
I might be I have already requested being a candidate of teaching for the culture. I did that.
Yes,
I did. I requested being a candidate for teaching. Just go ahead and investigate. Let's get it done. Put a paper trail. Come on. I think I wrote about in my 22 years, include open clarity. Some of those times when I was a substitute and I moved forward because but I think I probably wrote 12. I think I'm up to 12 referrals in my career at this point. 12.
They're gonna be hard pressed to find we call it like me. I'm so punctual. It's like
I'm not.
If school start at 7:45, I'm there at 6:15.
She is, y'all.
I wish somebody would beat me. Sometimes I beat the custodial workers to work.
Yes.
They'd be like, why you at the gate? I said, please just give me the key. I'm here.
Look, I got them churn. The bus never comes on time, and I'm not going to leave my children at a bus stop unbeknownst that they are not going to be picked up. And then when you don't if they're not at the bus stop for so long, they will abandon the bus stop because they were the only 2 children that got on there. But that's a whole nother conversation. But the key thing is we're doing our parts. We need you all to help us.
Right. That's it.
Speak on the matters of education that's not right for all children.
Speak on it.
And you all know the data supports and shows and place emphasis on highlights, illuminates the disparities that are happening to African American children.
Correct.
It's not right. It has not been right. And we gonna get it right. All board members moving forward, whether they choose to answer our questions or not. This is April Carr with April's Beauty Bar.
The Diva from Carr Diva.
And we are diversity
and equity
in education. We'll see you all later. Thank you, Bianca Goosley, for hosting us with Teacher for the Culture. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.